What's up? It's your resident clown here. So we're on to the next video, which probably nobody's gonna watch, but you know, that's cool. I got nothing better to do, like I stated before, but today we're going to be working on getting the rest of the exhaust system fitted onto the go-kart. And it is very hot today, so I've opted for a little bit of a easier path. I'm thinking that I think will actually work a little bit better. So go ahead and get into it right here. The idea that I originally had for mounting the muffler, where I put it up here like so, and then snake around the side exhaust tube, I don't think I really want to do that anymore. I think what I actually want to do is cut this part of the muffler in half, this baffle system in half right here. Not in half, but cut it in there, and then I can rotate this 180 degrees over to the other side and re-weld it. And then this will basically just shorten this pipe as well. Take a nice couple inches out of there. And this will just mount like that. Nice and simple. I mean, that's like perfect lineup for me to be able to secure it off this pipe here, and then for it to hook up straight right there. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Alrighty, so here's the finished product, and as you can see, these welds did not turn out too poorly. I was able to use high rates here and low rates down here, unfortunately, so that's why that looks like shit. Like I said in the last video, this welder does not like low rates at all. Looks like actually we have a little bit of a leak right there. Might have to fix that, or just not really worry about it because it's like pinhole size. But regardless, these didn't turn out too horribly. Had a little bit of trouble getting the arc to strike right there. But overall, it's not terrible for a arc welder, especially a flux core. So we'll go ahead and get this all mounted up on the go-kart, and maybe get a little hanger system working here, or maybe not even worry about it. I might just wrap some tape around it or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Alrighty, so we got the exhaust all welded up with a nice little hanger here, so it ain't going nowhere. And I think it's looking pretty cool. It's kind of got that like fart can vibe going on. The way it's like sitting up and angled. Ideally, I would have liked it angled more like this rather than like this, but you know, it's not bad. These outside welds look like garbage, of course. The ones on the hanger here are not terrible, but the rest of them look pretty shitty. At least you can see these. I'm kind of happy about those, but you know, it is what it is. I'm thinking I'll probably spend some more time cleaning this up at some point, and then maybe give it nice cheesy chrome paint job, make it shiny, but we'll see. I'm just waiting extra long in this nice Ohio heat for this to dry. I added more of this gasket material about 2 hours ago or so, so I'm gonna let it sit for a while longer, and then we'll start it up with the muffler on there and see how it sounds, because this is how it's going to sound, because I really don't want to mess with the exhaust system anymore unless I need to. Yeah, probably need to make still a heat shield over here for it, but we'll see what happens. Alrighty, so I think I've let this dry for long enough. It's nice and actually solid, not liquid. So I think we're ready to give this guy a first startup and see what she sounds like. Alrighty, well, I just fucked up. So I was trying to get this tack to work because the tack currently was not displaying the RPM, and I think the issue is this little black wire right here is like a key lockout, and when I was playing around with it, I thought it's not necessary because the power for it's already tied into the key, into the ignition. So I just cut it off and left it short, and I was trying to then get this to run, and I think I have to tie that back into the same thing as the key. So I was running this wire over to it, and I was just going to play with it and see if it actually started working. So I held this out, and I made sure very careful not that it was touching this, because it's grounded out, and this is a positive. So I was thinking, okay, it's all fine and dandy, and then I flipped the key to the run position, and a nice little plume of smoke came flying out the front of it. So I shorted it out and I fried it. So this key is no more, so that's gone. For the time being, I'm just going to flip that out for a rocker switch to turn run and off. It's also my kill switch too, so very glad that the engine didn't start running, because that would I would have to yank the spark plug wire off to stop it. But yeah, so that sucks. So I'm gonna have to pull this off and redo it. Shit's kind of AIDS. Hopefully didn't fry anything else. This seems like it's fine. I don't know. We'll find out. Disconnected the battery for now, but yeah, I'll start tearing into that. It's a bummer because I was really hoping to take it for a quick drive, but that's obviously not going to happen now because I don't have an ignition system. Alrighty, so I got the ignition box completely pulled apart. Push button start, which is just this really shitty homemade button thingy. That's not going to fry. I mean, that would take so many amps to fry that. It's ridiculous. So that's good. What's broken is this little cheap Chinese switch. So the problem that I'm running into is this is a 3-position switch. So you're going to have, when it's in the vertical position like this and off, you're going to have a connection between this, your ground, and I think it was this one, which is your, so it creates a connection between there. So what I did do is I ran my kill switch through that. So basically the kill switch works by grounding out a specific wire off the CDI. And I had that wire run all the way down to here, and then had this grounded. So basically that was my kill switch. And then I also have 2 other positions, and one is power in and the other is power out. So that was the other position. So when it's flipped into the run position, it would connect these two, and you'd have continuity between these two. So then I had that running power in, power out, then went to the tach and any other auxiliary shit that I had running, and then it also ran into the switch here. So yeah, so like this ran into there, so the power flowed through the switch into this button, out to the ignition solenoid, the starter solenoid. So everything was low amperage applications, but I did have a 100% live wire going into here. So that live wire came straight from the battery straight into here. So very high amps at 12 volts, but the amperage is what fried this thing, because what ended up happening is when I tried to splice this black wire into this red wire, I accidentally touched ground with this wire. It accidentally touched the frame. So that means I had continuity between here and ground, which means all the amps that are in that car battery that I have hooked up there ran through this switch, and that's why it fried. So what I have to do then is replace this. Now, we're in quarantine, so ordering a new one of these, it's going to arrive in a long time. Even with Amazon Prime, I'm having parts come several weeks after I order them. And I want to drive this thing. So what I'm going to do temporarily is replace this. So because this is a three position, I can't use a standard toggle like this for on and off, because the off is not going to be able to fire the kill switch. So what I'm going to have to do is then implement a second button. So I have this momentary on. I hope it's momentary on. If it's momentary off, that really puts a damper in it. But I found this laying around in my little drawer of bits and pieces. So I'm really hoping I'm going to play around with it with the multimeter in a second once I have more hands free. Make sure this is in fact a momentary off, or momentary on rather. So then this will be my kill. So I'll run ground, kill through there. Kill run to the CDI, ground will obviously run to the frame, and then this will be my kill switch. So press this and it'll cut the ignition. Now, the only real setback on this is this this ignition box that I have, which is very nice and really neat and tidy, and it bolts up nicely to the frame, and everything comes out in a couple screws on the back, and you can hook everything into there. It's modular, it's nice. And also this button requires this to hold it in place and keep everything contained. So I'm going to have to reprint this with a different design, because obviously I have no hole for this and no hole for this. I have a hole for this, which is now fried. So I'm going to have to go ahead and hop into CAD and redesign this plate, or copy of this plate, to accept this and this. I'm probably going to orient it with this on top, with off being down and on being up, and then this underneath is our momentary kill. So I'm going to go ahead, hop in CAD, and get the print running on the printer. And unfortunately, that means I'm going to have to wait, because I think, if I remember correctly, this was a 2.5 to 3 hour print. So yeah, that's going to be the rest of the day. All the daylight's going to be gone by that point, so I'm also going to have to, put the go-kart away, because while I really wanted to drive it, I can't, because I don't have a kill switch. And that's dangerous, because if it runs away on me and I'm in gear, let's say the clutch cable goes bad, then I'm going to be moving at whatever speed it wants me to move for indefinitely until I run into something or run out of gas. I don't really want to do that. So kill switch is important. Also, I need this, otherwise I'm just going to drain my battery with the light on this. I don't believe this functions without power, so that's also required. Bummer, pain in the ass, sucks, especially because I really like the whole key thing, because it's cool, it's classic, you know? It's just like a car. But all good things come to an end, especially when they're made in China, and specifically, I got this off of Wish, so I'm really not surprised that it fried. So yeah, fun. We'll get to hooking this shit all back up.